Thank you, Jazz. I heard everybody else crying about the times they were allotted to speak. You get towards the end of the last presentation just after lunch, that's a real challenge. But I'm up to it, so I'm going to approach this a little differently. In terms of talking about the future of human simulation, I don't know if I was the only one, but I came here and I didn't go to dinner with Kareem and the group last night. I decided I was going to go watch American Idol. So I don't know if I'm the only one to watch American Idol. But as I watched the show last night, I thought there are a lot of similarities between American Idol and human simulation. And one of those similarities is that the whole idea of picking an American Idol is similar to the process that a lot of the customers go through. They say, okay, what's the best model that I can pick? I'm going to pick the best model. One model. We went to a meeting a few weeks ago and they want the one best model to do medical simulation and injury prevention and human performance and things like that. In a lot of cases, there's no one best model, and all of you know that. The room is filled with people who have spent their lives doing very deep research in different areas that are perfectly applicable to certain areas of study. And that is something to keep in mind, that for different jobs, different forms of modeling is appropriate. I also agree with what Dr. Abusik said. He would know much better than me. The funding that we're going to see to do these activities across all disciplines is going to go down over time. Ultimately, human modeling is about reducing the number of physical prototypes and to come up with ways to do things cheaper, better, faster, and more safely. And so that means that just like on the American Idol finale last night, collaboration is going to be very, very important in this field. And there, as if any of you watched last night, there are some collaborations that are comical. They don't make any sense at all. They aren't managed well. They aren't performed well. There are other collaborations, though, that happen that can be like magic. And I think that represents a certain challenge for the customers and for the research and development teams that are going to do human modeling. The customers are going to be required to know a little bit more about the subject matter and to define their requirements better. And I think that what you're going to see is people who cannot collaborate, who are unwilling to do that, who are unwilling to modify the tenets of their research to match the needs of customers, they're going to fall by the wayside. And so the challenge that we're going to have is to come up with targeted collaborations to meet the needs of our customers in ever-increasing ways. So that, with that in mind, I'm going to show you what we do at Cyber Anatomy. And my goal, keeping with the American Idol theme, I want to be the Lady Gaga of this afternoon. So I was just amazed last night. My daughter has been telling me that she's really good, and I didn't believe her. And last night, I guess I sort of believed her. So this is Cyber Anatomy. In the future of human simulation, the stakes are raising. The fidelity is going to go up. And fidelity for me is just not appearance, but it also includes behavioral fidelity and biomechanical feedback. And you've seen a lot of different versions of that today. So it's just not enough to have a perfect looking avatar that's marching around the stage. It's just not enough to have the accurate output in a table. All these things have to come together to build a higher fidelity experience. And at the core of it, we have to have something that's easy to use. And I think the time is coming where we're going to do this not just at the external level or with clothing, but also combining some of the things that were just discussed with anybody, combining internal forces and internal structures. What we've done here with Cyber Anatomy, this is a product that was developed to fill a need. Originally, it was developed for Middle Eastern customers who have trouble getting cadavers. In training medical professionals, they have to bury their dead inside 24 hours, so it's very difficult culturally and logistically to get access to cadavers for medical training. And so to fill that need, we came up with a highly detailed model to support the training of medical professionals. And that has evolved over time. What we're looking at now is a high fidelity view of the skeleton. And what I can do, I can start the day with a little bit of dentistry. I'm going to pull out a few teeth. Medical professionals, different people throw out different numbers of. Medical professionals generally have to memorize about 8,000 different terms. In our model, we have 13,500 components in the human body model. So here I've just lit up some markers. These are anatomical landmarks that are used that hopefully your doctor knows the name of all these. It's sort of required to get your PhD or your doctorate. your MD certificate, whatever they call that. And so here you see I can mouse over and highlight those different things. But in terms of usability, what we want to be able to do, we want this to be something that an instructor can use dynamically in class. So I'm going to go through the head and neck, and I'm just going to add the respiratory system, the lymphatic system, the skin. I'm just going to add everything, and I can do the same for selectively for the whole body. Again, rather than trying to show you this stuff in PowerPoint, our goal is to say, why do I need PowerPoint? PowerPoint, I heard a great presentation by somebody from Disney that said PowerPoint's the worst invention in the history of the world communications. And it's true. What we want is we want our modeling and simulation environment to be the environment that we use to present these ideas. So why would I need some other format, right? So here I'm just using cybernatomy the way an instructor would. I have to sort of apologize to this guy. He left his teeth exposed outside his skull, so I'll stick those back in. But what I can do now is I can go and interact with the human anatomy. So I'm just going to peel the skin of his head aside. You can see I have my labels on, so as I mouse over different objects, it tells me what that object is. I can turn that on or off. I have full presentation capabilities that can pre-construct things. But the dissection is not just interesting and educational, but it's really fun. We're actually working with Augustana College, and they're doing a National Science Foundation grant that's finding there's a 30% gain in student retention from using interactive 3D to support this type of medical training. And so here I can just peel off the left, or I know this term, but I have to read it. The left orbicularis oculi. I can just pull that off, and now I can zoom in on the eye. And this is, you should see kids do this. It's this product, we have a K through 12 product as well. This one is for medical professionals, but they're ultimately kids. And I can go and peel the different levels of the eye. So there's the left sclera, the choroid, the retina. I peeled those. I'm going to sort of rotate this. Now when a doctor shines a light in your eye, what he's doing is he's looking with his optic nerve. And so I just zoomed in, and I can actually use this to train a doctor in terms of what to look at. One of the few skills that I have in life other than talking is I can actually do a 360 on this software inside the eye. So what I'm doing now is I'm on the inside of the eye looking out, which is pretty cool. And if you really want cool, we actually do this in stereoscopic 3D as well. All of this software, and that's a future direction that all this technology is going. For areas that spatial awareness is necessary, stereoscopic 3D is actually not just a toy, it's something that actually aids in your understanding. And now what I can do is I'm taking a look at the eye, looking out. There's the capsule of the left lens. I can hide that. The cortex of the left lens. You see here's the iris. Actually, I can go to the middle. There's the nucleus. I'm hiding that. Hide the cornea. There's actually a limiting lamina on the outside of that. I can hide that. And here's the iris. So I'm looking at the iris. One of my favorite things is I look at that. I just hit that. You actually have two muscles inside your iris to control the dilation of your pupil. And so I just show you this as an example of how quickly you can take a look at additional information with this type of technology. Now I could spend all afternoon doing this, and for those of you who know me, you've probably seen me do that before. I'll sort of cut it off here, but the combination of this technology, other products that we're developing at Cybernatomy include the combination of this with motion to do much more detailed musculoskeletal modeling than what's been achieved in the past. Also, this is being combined with a very detailed physiology model that we have with over 1,000 differential equations that work in concert to support doctors in terms of training with common issues with the physiology of the patient, either from during intubation or when you apply different types of medicine or treatment to that patient. The combination is powerful, but the takeaway is the technology is very, very powerful now, much different than it was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And this is going to continue to accelerate. And so looking at these different models as cumbersome things with low fidelity, either behaviorally or biomechanically or in appearance, those days are past. And we're going to get to a time when I think the real vision of what you want to achieve with human modeling and simulation where you can actually apply these very detailed models, but in a very simple way, very quickly, to support inline design and manufacturing design operations. That's going to be upon us before we know it. And the challenge to all of us is to work together and try to come up with products that can achieve that vision, or to fall by the wayside and watch the winner of next year's American Simulator Idol come in and do it for us instead of us. So I appreciate your time, and